Hello and welcome to A Stitch in Time. Today is Wednesday, December 19th, 2018, and this is episode 84. My name is Carol and I'm known as Knits and Pearls on Ravelry. The show notes for this and every episode can be found on the blog and also in the episode thread in the Ravelry group. If you'd like to get in touch, please do so via private message on Ravelry by leaving a comment on YouTube or by leaving a comment in the group, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I've recently noticed a few comments on the blog, and it is certainly fine to leave them there too. Just be aware that I don't check for them very often, so it might be a while before you hear back. I found out a while ago while doing a knit along that a lot of people are unable to leave comments on the blog, so that's just not a place I encourage you to leave them, and not a place, like I say, that I check or expect to see them very often. But as I say, if you do leave it there, great, and I will eventually see it and respond. So hi everyone, thanks for joining me on what will be the last regular episode of 2018. I will continue to do my Vlogmas leading up until Christmas Day, but I wanted to say hello and goodbye, I guess, one last time in 2018 in a sort of more formal manner. I don't have a lot of content today, so it will be a short episode. But as I said, I did want to check in with you before taking a wee break into the new year. We've got, going to have people here between Christmas and New Year's, and then we're going away for New Year's, and then it'll be a full week when we come back. So chances are you won't see another regular episode until the second week of January. Let's get right into it, shall we? As I mentioned, it is the week before Christmas, so there's still time to take part in our Advent knit along, crochet along. I've really enjoyed seeing all of your progress in that thread, or in the chatter thread, which you can find in the Ravelry group. So keep chatting, because for every comment you make, your chance goes up to win one of 3 project bags that I have made and I'm offering up as prizes. And then once Christmas is over, you have a week until New Year's Eve to get a to finish your project and get an FO shot up in the FO thread for that knit along. It might actually not even be till New Year's Day, or maybe even the day after that I actually close the thread. So you're good to enter until I actually lock that thread. So you may have an extra day or two's grace. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's been taking part. It's been a lot of fun seeing the activity and just seeing everyone's projects. You've got some great Advent projects out there. I know I've really been enjoying working on mine when I get a chance. I am happy to share a couple of finished projects with you this week, which also happen to be a couple of pairs of felted clogs, which is what I almost said. The pattern is by Bev Gillespie, and I think last week I was almost finished this pair for my son Matt. I think I just had one sole left to do, so I did get those done. And I think I explained that while I usually will gift these felted, this time around I am giving them unfelted, and then he can do them where he lives, and if I have to come over and help, that's okay. But I wasn't exactly sure how small to felt these. Usually he's around to use as a guide, or I have an old pair that I can snag and compare, but I have neither of those things right now. And so this is Peyton's Classic Wool. I can't remember the color names. I think I wrote them up down last week, actually. Yeah, dark gray mix and dark gray marl. You will probably not find these exact ones on my project page. I have made a gazillion of these over the years, and I don't take pictures of all of them, but you can get a good look here. And then I also made a pair for his new girlfriend, and they're much smaller. They take much less time to make. The uppers here, I have used some leftover Malabrigo worsted in the Va colorway, and then this is also Peyton's Classic Wool in navy. And I have, over the years, come to find that of all of the different wools I've tried, I really like the Peyton's Classic Wool. But I've also used and continue to use Cascade 220 and the Elan Peruvian Highland wool, although I'm not sure if that's still something they make. They've changed their format. I used to be able to order individual skeins of various colors, and they've changed their online store, and now you have to go, I think it's through Amazon, and you have to buy like bags of things at a time. And so I haven't, unfortunately, been shopping at Elan anymore, not for a long time, since they closed the regular store, but that yarn's good too if you happen to have some on hand. So anyway, this and this pair and the other pair represent the end of my gift knitting, and I am extremely happy about that. The last slipper in particular gave me rather a bit of trouble, and if you've been watching Vlogmas, you will know all about it. So I was extremely happy to be able to call these done and to turn back to more selfish knitting, if you will. So one of the things I've worked on a fair bit since then are my slice of Christmas pie socks. The yarn is Christmas Pie by Fiber Nymph Dye Works. This is the bounce base, and I think I showed this finished sock to you last week. And I have now turned the heel and completed the gusset, and I'm working my way down the foot on sock number 2. I don't have it on a sock blocker, so I'll just hold it up for you. And I was extremely pleased to once again be able to knit the heel flap and gusset using only 2 colors and not having to interrupt the order of the stripes on the front of the foot. So that was just a nice bit of luck, a nice stroke of luck. So yeah, I've just once again been enjoying these. It's been good to have just a plain stockinette sock on the go to pick up whenever I have a few minutes. And the other project that I've really been enjoying still is my Adventurous Wrap by Amba O'Brien. I think I had just started this bright pink stripe. I'll see if that light's better there. I'm sorry, it's not the greatest lighting here. If you've been watching Vlogmas, you'll have seen this scene many times over the course of the last few weeks. It works great because I have a lamp right there. I have the window here that gives me light, and I don't have to fiddle with my tripod. My camera just sits right at the right height on the end table here. That's why I use this as a spot. So I think I had the wrong side showing. So anyway, there is my latest stripe on this one. There it is in its entirety. And then I have the second half, which I've been working on concurrently, and I can see I've just added one stripe of a lighter goldy color. That is leftovers from my what's it called? Is it Wisp? No. Maybe it's Wisp with Wick, my Wick shawl. This is, I don't have my label here, it's Farmer's Daughter, I know that. Anyway, I love this yarn, and I'm so happy to be able to incorporate it into this shawl. So anyway, there's that side. There's a bit of a close-up there. So yeah, it's coming along. Definitely the rows are getting longer and longer, and it's takes a while to complete one. pattern repeat, and I'm, what are we, the 19th, so we're 5 days out from Christmas Eve. I am not sure that I will get it done. In fact, I'm pretty sure I won't get it done before then, but that's okay. I've been enjoying it as a good distraction from my gift knitting this month for sure. And as for what I'm reading, I'm continuing with The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. And this week I've actually been both reading it in the hard copy and listening to it on audiobook while I've been wrapping presents and things. And so it's been interesting to switch back and forth between the two. I kind of have to find the new spot in the book or fast forward through the audiobook to find the next spot to pick it up. But I'm enjoying it, continuing to enjoy it, and I know my daughter mentioned it, and then I think it was Marilyn, one of our viewers, was saying it has kind of a surprise ending, and so now I'm really curious to see how it will end. It's actually even just still really unfolding, and I don't know where it's going. So this has been another really good distraction. I often will go to bed and just read a chapter, if I can manage it, before I turn out the light. And it's a nice way to end the day. So that's it for as far as knitting and what I've been doing. Well, other than it's been a busy time just getting ready for Christmas. That's pretty typical this time of year for most of us. And I realize I say Christmas, and that's because that is the holiday that I celebrate at this time of year, but I know that many of you, sorry, little bird in the tree out there, not a squirrel, but I'm distracted by a bird. Anyway, I realize that there are other holidays at this time of year that many of you celebrate, but I focus on Christmas because that's my holiday. So yeah, I've been busy getting ready for that. This past Saturday, my husband had his work Christmas party, so we enjoyed getting dressed up and going to that. We always have a nice time. They have very good supper and live band, and every employee gets a like a door prize, and it's just fun to see people from different stores. My husband runs into a lot of obviously a lot of work colleagues throughout the year, but there are many that I don't see until the Christmas party, and have come to know them over the years. So I enjoyed that. We had a good time there. This week, tonight's the only night we don't have something going on. Monday night, I went out with some friends from my ladies group, and we shopped for our adopted Christmas family. We always put together a hamper every year and enjoy picking out things for the family and providing the fixings for Christmas dinner, and try and provide some other basic groceries too. It's always it's a great tradition. We started, I think we've been getting together now for, I think we figured out something like 15 or 16 years, and we've done it every year, so it's a great tradition that we're happy to keep carrying on. Last night we had dinner with a group of friends. I think there were 14 of us in all. Just met down at the pub and had a good time. We had two tables sort of end to end, and so you would only visit with the people at, more or less, with the people at your own table. And someone said we should have done it like that speed dating, and all of us switched chairs in 10-minute intervals, and then we would have actually got to talk to everybody who was there. Came to the end of the night, and there were some people at the other table. We hadn't done anything more than say just a hello to them when they walked in. But regardless, we had a really nice time, a nice way to see everyone before, again, a lot of our activities that we see them at kind of break up for Christmas. And so just checking what else I've got down here. Yeah, just my mom is arriving Friday evening. One of my sisters and her husband are going to go pick her up on Friday, and then she will stay here for about a week, and then go to another sister's for a few days before another sister takes her home. And then on Christmas Eve, my sister from Toronto and her husband, they arrive, and they will be picked up by another sister, and they'll stay at her house, but then they're coming here starting Christmas night, and they will stay until the 30th. And they fly out that morning from Abbotsford, which is just the city over from us. And Cameron and I are going to be heading to Vancouver Island that day, and so we will drop them off at the airport on our way to Victoria to visit his mom and his brother and sister-in-law. And we'll spend New Year's with them and then come home New Year's Day. And then the day after that, I have lunch planned with my best friend. It was her birthday, December 8th, and that's the only time we could work out to get together for lunch. And so that's what we're going to do. So lots on the go for the next couple of weeks. Lots of good stuff, but it'll definitely be busy times. And that's what leads me to my something good this week. My something good this week is New Year's knitting plans. Been doing lots of gift knitting, and I have been dreaming about all the things I want to cast on come the new year. What is calling me the most are sweaters. I really want to do some sweater knitting. So one that I want to start is this kit that I got a little while ago, the Through Stone sweater from Bristol Ivy. It's a cardigan with a colorwork yoke. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to make the cardigan version or the pullover version. I am leaning towards the cardigan, and it does require steeking, and I've never done that. So that would actually be a really good project for the new year. Start the new year out by trying something new. So I have a feeling that's what I'm going to be doing. And I've got my bag of yarn here ready to go, and I just can't wait. I also want to make another So Faded. I have found myself actually wearing that sweater a fair bit here around the house. It's casual and it works great with a pair of jeans, and the fingering weight yarn is light enough that it doesn't get too warm to wear inside most of the time. So I think it was last week I showed off some Madeline Tosh yarn I'd received in the mail, and I'm really strongly considering that red and gray combination for another So Faded. So that one is definitely on my mind. And I'm not sure what else. I just know that I'm kind of itching to cast on something new and something that is, quote, selfish knitting. I don't really look at it as selfish knitting. I mean, if you read a book as a hobby, is it selfish because you don't read it out loud to somebody else? You know, or if you, I mean, there could be any number of hobbies I could come up with, and we don't consider people selfish for pursuing those. So I don't really think of it as selfish knitting, but I definitely enjoy it more than I do gift knitting for the most part. So I'm looking forward to just sort of knitting just for fun, I guess is what it comes down to, without any sense of urgency that it has to be done by a certain time, or that it has to fit a certain person, or that it has to be to their taste. I can just knit whatever I want. And I think on that note, I am going to say goodbye until 2019. So happy holidays to everyone, whichever holiday you celebrate at this time of year. And all the best for 2019. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. Take care until then. Bye.